Well, hello everyone. I hope you're all doing absolutely amazing and welcome back to CRL. This is Daytona 8 hours qualifying sessions today with the GTM class and with the hypercar class later on. As of right now, we're just watching the little practice session underway. Nothing too major happening as of right this second. We're going to go through the little schedule we have today. And up first, we have the GTM class at 7 p.m. CEST, and the hypercar class will be a little bit later on at 7:40 CEST. So I am your host today. I am Lasky Kirito, obviously. You all know me as the director of CRL Endurance right now. Our Polish commentators, unfortunately, were not available today. So I do apologize for them not being available. They will be here tomorrow. We will be opening the race tomorrow with Camille, obviously, as he is always going to start these from now on, I believe. Well, I'd like to welcome everyone. I hope everyone's having such a great day. There have been a couple issues coming into this weekend, so I would like to clarify a few of these things just before we get underway. One of the questions coming up before we get into qualifying, the question was around the pit exit. Pit exit is defined by the white line. When the hard white line ends, that is officially the end of the pit lane. However, there's like these little couple dashes on the ground. They are just there as sort of a guide towards the drivers. As yeah, the real penalty doesn't go past that point. As sometimes cars come flying past there. We just want to avoid collisions. All responsibility is on the drivers this weekend. But looking forward now to the weekend, a couple changes were made in the regulations, and this was mainly around the starting times and other things, so nothing too major. So let's focus on what's going to be happening in the drivers, well, not drivers, sorry, the championship for the teams. I will quickly put this up. I spent a little while doing this. But first of all, we have the GTM class, Rivals Racing, Kiritoracing Esports, and UPO are the teams to watch this weekend. UPO a little bit outside of the top teams, but they will be trying to contest either way for a finishing high position. But Kirito Racing and Rivals Racing will be the ones to watch this weekend, as they will be the ones competing for the championship in the GTM class. In the hypercar class later on, we do have Legion Racing versus GLS. And I don't believe the other team is racing. There might be. Is Smart Racing? I think there might be. But it's a three-way fight for the hypercar grid, and it is a two-way fight for the GTM class. There are official trophies on the line to be won for this championship. So everyone is putting in their ditch effort. We have 25 GT cars signed up to this race. We have 11 hypercars, and we have 6 experimental class LMP2s on the grid. There will not be any qualifying for the LMP2 this weekend, just simply because they're an experimental class. They're supposed to, emulate our Garage 56, so there will not be any official qualifying for them. They will simply join the back of the hypercar grid coming into the weekend for racing, and they'll essentially just be their own little class, their own little enjoyment, give us a little bit of entertainment along the way. As mentioned just a minute ago, I am obviously Lasky Kirito. And yeah, I'm the CRL Endurance Director. And once again, I'll have to apologize for there being no Polish commentators. I did try to grab some, but it was a little bit difficult. So I do hope we get that sorted for next season. But yeah, we're gonna open this up. I don't know if anyone has any questions or anything, but for the next 12 minutes, we're gonna let you guys just watch along, and I'll be back with you. If you're 3 times clear, in the mid lap. I'm assuming you mean sector 2. Yeah, you must have had a real good run, man. A real good run. So I think since we have a bit of time, we should go down the grid and we should say hello to each one of the teams. Let me just get up my little spreadsheet here that gives me all the information on the weekend. And we'll just see how everyone is doing. I do not have the thing I need to go freely. So let's jump on board with each one of the teams and have a little peek-see, shall we? Oh, we'll go here. So the first car we're looking at today is Outrun. These guys are, I think this is their first time competing in this category. I don't really have them down for anything else. It is the 722 Outrun, Sunset Outrun car. These guys, I don't think have competed so far in CRL. Next up, we have the 45. Oh god, I am terrible with these names, and I do apologize beforehand. I think this is Pajik Racing, Endurance Racing. I don't really know how to pronounce these guys' names, so I really do apologize. But these guys are the ones fastest in the practice sessions beforehand, and they were the fastest yesterday. They were showing their amazing pace out on the grid. Pretty good. Next up is the 127. So these guys are competing for the championship today. Well, not for today, but tomorrow. But they are competing for the pole position to try and compete for that championship. And this is currently being driven by George. He is a big name in the Kirito Racing family, and he'll be looking to get his pole position today. 999. So these guys are the current championship leaders. Rivals Racing out for their championship win. There was an accidental mistake last time out. We accidentally announced them as the champions. Whoops. It was a miscalculation from the administration, and it will not happen again. But these guys obviously looking out to get their championship solidified and their trophies so they can cheer along for the season 3. UPO, these guys are the third in the championship right now. They'll be looking to try and take that second position. But they're quite a good team. It gives me a very Park Motorsport-esque kind of colours, but these guys, they have competed quite a lot this season, and they will be obviously looking to get their the little thing in. Lamas Racing Team. Now, I do believe these guys are new to the grid for this race. And number 96 here, one of 3 of their cars. That's a kind of a nice livery. Let's take a little peeksies around this one. There's a nice black and pink livery. These little triangles around it. Oh, nice design here. It's obviously by Sia. He makes a lot of the liveries for CRL and our counterpart league. But a nice livery here for these guys. So moving on to the next car, our second Kirito Racing car, number 12. These guys not known for their performance, unfortunately. They've had a lot of mishaps this season, and they'll be looking to finish strong here in Daytona. One Vision Esports, it's SD, I think it stands for Sim Dream. One Vision Esports, this is the number 91 car. I believe these guys moved from the hypercar grid and re-entered into the GT grid, looking for a bit more of a fighting competition. Project 81, this is one of many of their cars. I think they have 3 cars in the grid this weekend. This is number 8. Oh, he's made a little bit of a mistake and into the wall. Oh, I have commentator's curse. We'll swiftly move on to another SD1 Vision car. These guys, number 7, again moving from the hypercar grid to the GT grid with their livery. I think all their cars sport this livery in some capacity. Again, Lamas Racing, this is the 777. This is another one of their cars. Same design, same color scheme, still looks good, no matter how you look at it. Virtus Lab Sim Racing. So again, these are partnered with Sim Racing Dream and One Vision, but I believe these guys are their own team. So I think they are just partnered up and share livery. These guys race on their own. They're pretty good guys, and they'll be looking out to get into the top 5 this weekend. Another Lamas Racing car, going a little bit slow here in the pit lane. They're taking it nice and easy by the looks of it. Another 77. Pretty good livery still. Lulaski Racing. These guys have a really cool livery. I think this is one of my favorite liveries on the grid. These guys really know how to make it look good. I believe they signed up earlier in the season. I think they did one race but retired early. But they're making a return here in Daytona, and I'm gonna expect quite a lot from these guys. Pretty good livery. Yeah, I believe that is everyone. Oh, and we jump on board with number 10, Project 81. That's a little car. So we have quite a few cars on the grid. We'll also go through the hypercar grid when they turn up. It seems some of the cars are missing right now. We only have 20 cars in the grid. 5 cars are missing, so some people may be opting to do the long average but trying to pronounce Polish names. Yes, I am not normally the commentator. I only ever do the administration stuff, so it's kind of unusual to see me on this side of the desk. I did the podcast yesterday. I kind of only want to do the podcast and debriefs, but apparently no one could do the commentating today. Instead of it being absolutely quiet with no one, it's better to have a Brit struggling to say all the Polish names. So I hope it's no issue, and I'm sure the teams will correct me later on in the DMs. I'll get those messages coming through letting me know that I'm saying all their names horribly wrong, and all I can do is apologize to them. I'm sure they know I mean no offense by it. I'm sure I'll be corrected over and over when that time comes. So we're going to take it pretty easy right now. There's only 6 minutes remaining of this practice session. The practice session was half an hour long to give the drivers a little bit of a warm-up for the weekend. We are going to be looking into I think it's a 20-minute qualifying. There's another car has a little instant here. The UPO car, number 15. The nerves are stacking in their car. And the sweat dripping down his face, thinking it's rain. Homage to George Russell. By the way, British qualifying today was really interesting. Q1 gave us some entertainment. I think the last 2 qualifying sessions were a little bit boring, but at least Max is not on pole again. But here in CRL Endurance, we are going to be looking to... oh god, there are issues popping up already. So, we're going to take it a little bit easy here. We've got 4 minutes till the end of this practice session. So please do keep in mind these times on the left hand side are not for qualifying. These are practice times. It's just to give the drivers a little warm up, a little practice. Maybe I should turn them off, but finding the thing to do that is a little difficult. Oh, I'm breaking it. And this is why I'm never this side of the desk, because I break everything. But it's fine. Okay, I have broken it. Whoopsie daisies. I hope no one's gonna mind that these are now broken. It's fine. It is now... Ooh. Okay, the leaderboard is now broken. It is fine. It will sort itself out in a second. And we will do based on time. So we'll put it back to times because it was working before. Okay, has anyone got any questions, any concerns, anything they want to know about this qualifying session? Do not be afraid to give me a ping either in the Discord or, you know, give me a ping in the Discord or even ask here in the chat. And please guys, if you are new to CRL or you're new to the community and you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button. It allows us to, you know, look a little bit better. Having that subscribe button will give you guys content throughout the off time. Between each races, we are starting to post more content. So if you don't want to miss it, hit the subscribe button. If you like this stream, hit the like button. And if there's something you don't like, don't be afraid. You can hit the dislike button too. I'm not bothered. But I'd rather be known about it. Uh, does crossing the line apply in qualifying as well? Yes, it does. So I just got a message in DMs talking about the line on the exit of the pit lane. If you cross that line, you know, you're gonna get a penalty. If there's someone coming down that straight and you're coming out the pit lane, you cross that dotted line, you may be up for a penalty as well. So it's better just to stay left of it unless there's no cars there. Just, you know, it's just better that way. I mean, I don't think you even need to cross that line because you need to be on the left hand side of the track anyway, going into the turn. So I don't know why people would need to go across the dotted line in the first place. I've got a couple of issues going on here. A couple of people sending messages. Okay, so it's 1 minute left of this practice session. I do believe there'll be a 2-minute gap between the qualifying between the practice session and the qualifying session, so there may be just a little bit of a break in there. Before the stream started, I showed the safety car lap, and I also showed the little teaser we made. If people like those, then let me know, because we're looking to make some more of those in the future. I think there are a couple issues with the teaser as far as certain branding was concerned. Moving into the next season, I'll make sure this doesn't happen, and we'll keep it nice and clean, nice and good. It appears we have a few more cars joining the server. I think we have 3 more cars on the server. So we're only missing 3 cars now. We're only missing 3 little GT cars. I do hope they turn up for the race tomorrow, but this is a good showing by everyone. I believe SRT are now on the server. So if I can, I would love to grab a little shot of them as they are currently in the pit lane here. They got a nice little livery that these guys are forming their own team just for this weekend. Nice little livery. I like it. It's a vibe. I can't tell who else was new to joining. I don't know who's new. Voyal Racing. These guys making a return to CRL this weekend. I'm glad these guys have finally joined the server. Royal Racing, obviously back here in season 1 of Project Endurance, and they didn't rejoin for season 2. There was a long break between the end of season 1 and season 2. So I'm glad to see these guys back on the track as they go through the ground. Oh, well, it appears that we have some server side. Okay, so I feel like the server's been restarted. Okay. So we're going to have to do a quick restart here. I do apologize, ladies and gents. It's a little bit awkward when this happens. I feel like one of the administration have obviously spotted the problem, and it is being rectified. So, well, I'll let that be. I'm going to take that off that screen. Let me just have a look around, make sure everything's okay. Just real quick, I'm gonna make sure that, you know, the server's not blowing up or something. So, okay. There's an issue with the server. It has been restarted, but they forgot to remove the practice time. Oh no, okay, so it's gonna switch to qualifying. Okay, so qualifying has started. We're going to quickly rejoin the server as fast as we can. And in the meantime, take a look at the teaser. And there we go. Oh, does the stream want to come back? There we go. There you are, you silly goose. What are you doing over there? Anyway, welcome back, everyone. We had a little bit of a difficulty there with the server. I believe it just had a quick restart. And maybe someone's Steam ID was misplaced, or maybe there was issues regarding... I don't think it was real penalty, because I think it was fine beforehand. So I think the issue may purely be someone's Steam ID may have been missing. But that's no problem, we're all good on that front, and that is no issue, as we are now in the qualifying session. This is the official session now, as we are currently on board with the Kiritoracingesports Racing 127. It's being driven by George Brookie. He's the second in command in the Kiritoracingesports Racing family, and he's going to be looking to set his fastest time. I wonder if we have our leaders here somewhere. These guys, here they are. Rivals Racing 999. Will they take the championship this weekend? They're going to be looking to do that. They have to finish in the points. If I remember correctly, Kiritoracingesports 127 is only 2 points behind. No, they're 23 points behind. So these guys need to score anything above 10th. If they finish in the points, it does not matter where Kirito finishes. These guys will win. These guys are going to be a little bit nervous, a little bit shaky. As long as they keep it clean, they keep it nice, and they don't stress about it, they should be perfectly fine. But let's hop actually on board with them. Let's get a little better view here. We'll do an on-board lap with them, and we'll see how this goes. We'll see how they perform around Daytona. I do not have the Delta. Oh, I used to have this little... Oh, here it is, but it's broken. Of course it's broken. Doesn't want to wear. Normally it would tell me how fast they were going, but it's fine. We don't need it. We can carry on without it. And we're going to go around this lap with them in Daytona. I wonder if I have like another app that can give me their lap time. I do not have any deltas that are working. Oh, this is a little bit sad, to be honest. I was hoping I could get like a little delta for you guys. But they're coming through Sector 2 right now onto the back corner, where they're now going to be coming down this very long Sector 3, and they'll hit the bus stop chicane, where they'll need to be precise and fast if they're going to be able to make a good lap time. All the time will be gained in turns 1, and I don't know what turn the bus stop chicane is exactly, but this is where all the time will be made, is in the bus stop chicane and in turn 1. That's where the majority of the time around this track is. I'm hoping I can get some form of a lap time, but nothing really wants to update for individual cars apparently. So this is a little bit sad. I do apologise for that. We're not going to have that information as we have before, as it doesn't want to update. Let's see where Rivals Racing comes out on their first flying lap around Daytona, and it will put them in 9th with a 1:45.4. I'm sure they're going to be looking to go much faster than this. So maybe they're just warming up. We'll leave them alone. We'll see how they cook over the session and allow them to do their thing. And all of a sudden, this now wants to work. This little thing down the bottom, when they cross the line, will give us the information we want. It will tell us how fast these guys are going across the line and how fast their laps are. But if they invalidate, it will break. So I want to try and find a car that is on a fast lap, but it looks like it doesn't want to give me that information. This is not good. Well, we'll let the auto cam do its thing, and we'll hope that this fixes itself as we move on into the session. Yeah, so currently Park Motorsport seems to be leading the way with a 1:43.2. This is one of the fastest times we have seen so far. We did a test race yesterday, and some of these cars looking mighty fast and mighty good. So if we're going to break this down real quick, there is a bop in place. So the Mercedes has a bop, has a 15 kilogram bop with a 5% restrictor. These have been put in place to slow that car down as it is mighty fast. And the Lamborghini also has a bop of a 5 kilogram bop and a 5% restrictor. This is just to slow both of those cars down to bring them more in line with the Audi, as the Audi is the slowest car right now, as far as we are aware. All the tests that have been run, all the information that has been done, has gone into the fact that that the Audi is the slowest and the Mercedes is the fastest. All tests done by people within the administration, obviously. Yeah, it's all pretty good. All pretty decent to the minute. Royal Racing for their first appearance in CRL, putting up their P2 right now over one. Oh, the car went off. Car went off. Oh, it's one thing I don't like about this autocam is that it doesn't want to go to the action per se. If someone goes off track, it doesn't like going to them. It's a bit annoying because I kind of have to jump around and find them. It's fine. We'll go on board with Royal Racing right now. So Royal Racing, like I said earlier, their first appearance here in CRL Season 2, and they've got 143.4. I'm sure they have much more pace in that car, as they're racing at around Sector 1 right now. Coming into Turn 4, nice little turn here. Pretty decent. They're doing quite well for themselves. And I hope they do continue. Just looking down the order, Outrun in P3 with a 143.5, Mid-S Racing with 33.8, and someone else jumped up. The Project 81, the number 10 Project 81, up here now. With a 143.5. These numbers in the middle, by the way, not all of them are correct, so I do advise you ignore them. For some reason, our lovely Francis doesn't like it too much. The little leaderboard app doesn't like using correct numbers. For next season, we'll look into making it better. I do apologise for that as well. Car going slow on the inside there, probably trying to get out of the way. As SD1 Vision now up to P6. That's a good lap time from them. A 143.8. So we are creeping towards the 42s. I do wonder if any teams are going to be able to pull it off. As it will be quite interesting as they do. But as of right now, it does look like that Park Motorsport are going to be leading the way in that Mercedes. I believe this livery has been used in another competition, and they've ported it over here for this one. Ooh, but they've made a mistake into the bus stop, and they've gone into the barrier. That's going to be damage to their car. They have to come back to the pit lane. As Royal Racing with a 143.0 as they now go wide in turn 1, but they will be certainly happy with that time as they are now the fastest car on track. And I wonder if they're going to get any more pace. If they get one more tenth, just one more tenth, we'll be into the 42s. As they go off track again. I do hope he has reset to the pit lane. So, resetting to the pit lane, if you reset to the pit lane during a qualifying session, you do have to retire the car. If you go back out, you'll be disqualified. So, they have chosen to leave the server. But with a 143.0, I do not think they're going to have to worry that hard about losing their pole position here. I think the only people really threatening them right now is Park Motorsport. I do wonder if they're going to be able to pull this off. But it's most definitely interesting to see this unfold right now. I do wonder if anyone else is going to be able to compete with these times as Outrun. Oh no, did someone leave? Someone's moved? I didn't see it move, but someone else has moved around on the leaderboard. We'll go back on track and see how other people are faring out in the session. We will start from last, so we will use back to pits. Right, so Royal Racing just showing their pace. Understood. Technically, the regulations, only using back to pits does not just disqualify you. It only retires your car during qualifying. But I think we had this discussion that you want to do last the first challenge. So this is just you showing your pace, which is very, very interesting. Ego top, yes. I do have to agree, it is a bit of an ego show. But if you got it, why not show it? As they are now out of this session, and we'll see them tomorrow for the next session. Use batter pits 2 times. Oh, I didn't see the first time. Okay. But if that's the case, then your car is disqualified from qualifying. So that's interesting. Is the stream lagging? On my stream is lagging. I do not know if it is for anyone else. I think the 722 has its name up wrong. It's on Outrun, so it's just the way how the server manages it. I will quickly show you. It's if I change it, first to last name, for example, it will show the numbers. If I make it first name, it was just the numbers. It is broken for both you and Rivals Racing. I don't know why this happens. We had issues at the start of the season with this. But yeah, I'm not too sure why this keeps happening. But you are there, don't worry. Outrun with a 143.5. You're going to have to try and challenge Park Motorsport as they are currently holding pole position here. I do hope you guys can step in to compete. As Sinif, how do we pronounce this name? I need to know. How do we pronounce these guys' name? If anyone can tell me, this would be great. How does one pronounce this name? Because it seems like to me, it's Siviyev Endurance Team. A very interesting name. I'm sure it's a Polish name, but I do not know how to pronounce it. SRT making their way onto the board with a 145.1. It's a pretty good time. It puts them towards the back of the midfield, which isn't too bad. It's an okay position. As I wonder, here we go, the other Park Motorsport car, the 907 now. We have one report. Oh god, you're starting my job early, huh? All reports for qualifying will be dealt with after the qualifying, obviously. The race, though, will all be done during the race. And see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, Boyle. Please give me an entertaining race. I can't wait to see the stuff you guys can do. Siziev. Okay, Siziev. See you tomorrow, Boyle. Have fun. So, Park Motorsport. 2 of their cars now in the top 5. Just showing how strong their pace is. And this livery is quite good. I believe their one lights up, doesn't it? I think someone's livery on the grid lights up when they brake. I think it's these guys. And they got like glowy stuff on their car. It's pretty cool. Interesting. What is that? I'm gonna Google what this is, and if it's something stupid, I'm gonna cry. What is this? Siziev Prime. In Greek mythology, Siziev was the founder of the king of Europa. Europa? Oh. Unknown. Okay. It's a strange thing to call your team after. I'm sure it has a reason. I'm not going to question it. Everyone has their thing. I'm not too sure what to think of that as the other Project 81 car now. Finally put his name on top of SRT for 145.1. And entering race with the lap time, there's just going to be from rest. Yeah, these guys, so Park Motorsport used to be in CRL, and way back when CRL was known as the Rookie Series for Product Endurance, Park Motorsport, Voyo Racing, Midas were some of the biggest names, and they were the fastest guys, so it stands to reason they'll be able to perform here as Project 81 goes for a little bit of a snap of oversteer there. So it stands to reason they'll be pretty quick. It's pretty good though, it's pretty decent. Yes, better. I mean, no. No, I disagree. SAO is pretty good, yeah. We're not here to talk about anime, though. Back to the racing. Sunset Outrun over here with a 143.3, only a few tenths away from Park Motorsport. These guys are going to be the closest competitors by the looks of it. But this grid isn't separated by much, only 9 tenths in the top 7 and only a second in the top 10. It's pretty good lap times and pretty decent. Why do we have 27 number? I do not know. I don't know how these numbers work at the minute. For some reason, I think it has something to do with the files. Like, you know, in the file, you have like your little like config file. It's in there. I think that needs to be manually changed. Yeah, I think that would be what it is. So it's pretty decent. My teammates. You're number 45, which is these guys. They're doing quite well. They're in P7, man. He's cooking good. He's cooking pretty decently with a 143.9. He is 8 tenths off the leader. But that could all be gained in one corner if it's hit right. You know, doing certain things on the corners, accelerating at the right moment, deaccelerating, etc., braking. It could all have a major effect. And you have to remember, Park Motorsport has a lot of experience, so trying to challenge them is going to be a task for anyone. It's pretty good to see them back on the grid. It adds that level of competition that wasn't here for the last 3 rounds. So people asked for more competition, and now they have it. You guys are going to have to fight pretty hard for this win now. It's a shame they weren't here from the start, because racing would have been so much more intense and enjoyable. The first report coming in from the 666 car reported... Okay, so the first report for Daytona is this car reporting itself. Wow. I mean, no words, really. No words. Reporting yourself is one way to get yourself disqualified, I guess. Nice play. I get it. You want to start from the back of the grid? That's all fine. It's still not updated on quali. So the problem with skins is people have named their skins ridiculous things. And I personally spend hours going through all the skins to just get them to a point where I can put them on the server. And then when they were on the server, I had to then go through every car and link the correct skin to each car. So if you gave me a file name that has nothing to do with your car, or is like just a number, or just one part of your name, then I've got to play the guessing game, right? It's very long, and I have all the skins throughout the season. So if you just name them the same thing, then that's on you. For next season, I will enforce rules around people's file names, so you'll have to have a certain name when you submit it to avoid this happening, because a lot of people have had issues with the skins, and it is just because of how confusing it is without a set file name for each team. So I think we'll enforce that for next season, just to make it easier on us, and then these issues will not arise. Back to the racing. There are only 4 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. It is currently being led by Park Motorsport, which have just come into the pit lane. It appears that they have just done themselves a lovely little cheeky stop, put some new tires on, some new fuel, and they're going to go out for their final runs now. So we'll see how they perform. But they are currently being followed by Sunset Outrun. These guys coming in, showing their pace, and currently at 143.3. Trying to find those 2 tenths to get back at Park Motorsport, as they're currently a little bit behind. But now the other Park Motorsport, I didn't even see these guys set this time, but a 143.4 from the second Park Motorsport, the 907. These guys came out of nowhere. I didn't even see them set this time. So it just shows Park Motorsport really on it this weekend for the first time in Season 2. Just showing that they could have been leading the championship, I guess, the entire time. But it's going to make this endurance race very, very interesting. But yeah, a nice 143.4. Very interesting. So SD1 Vision, what can you guys do? Down here in P4, you guys were one of the favorites to be leading the timings here, and we're a little bit behind. This Park Motorsport yet again goes in and sets a slightly faster time, only a tenth, half a tenth off their other car. So Park Motorsport, what are you guys doing? What's happened? You guys are absolutely flying. It is a 1-2 Park Motorsport here at Daytona so far. We have 2 minutes left on the clock. Can anyone stop these guys? Can anyone put in that lap time and show us how it's done? Not anymore. Yeah, Sunset Outrun here. You guys are the closest. I'm hoping someone can step in and bring this in. But the Mercedes, even with the bop, just flying. When I did the tests for these bops were in mind for the Merc being faster, and it appears that they've just found something. 7 tenths slower than the Mercedes. I wonder if this is down to just pace difference, or if this is down to something else. But Voil Racing still the fastest time, so it must be just a skill gap here. The guys in the Mercedes are showing their true colors, their true pace. I don't want to be rude, but it might be just a skill issue. Let's just look down the grid and see how people are doing. So Midas down here in P7. Strefa Racing. These guys, I don't think I've looked at these guys' livery yet. Nice little... It's nice. It's pretty calm. Nice little less on the side. It's smooth. Have they run out of fuel? Or are they on the clutch? Oh no! Oh no! What was that? A collision. I think these guys may have run out of fuel and the cards came down on the either outside or inside on them, and that's going to be the end of their qualifying. I'm sure there's going to be a lovely report about this later on. But let's hop on board with Park Motorsport as they come across the line. Is this going to be the last time? It is. Did they make it in time? They did, but only just. They only just made it in time. So there's contact in the background between two cars. I think that's the Hurricane. No, it's not the Hurricane. I don't know which car this was. It might have been the Hurricane and another car. But Park Motorsport just making it to the line. We're going to stay on board with them and see what time they put in, as they are the last car on the grid. I can't find an onboard here to go with them. We'll stay on board with them and we'll watch now the leaderboard. We'll see what times people are putting in, and we will see how fast these guys can go. Can they extend the lead? Can anyone beat them? Will anyone be able to do it? Or are these guys going to lead us in the Daytona for the GT class? I wish I had time. I wish I could see their sector times. But I just can't. I don't have that information, and it's really sad. I might be able to pull it up on the website. They are actually down on their time, according to the live timing. So I don't know if they're going to beat their time this lap. Sunset Outrun have finished in P3. So is no one going to be able to compete? Is no one going to stop them? SD1 Vision finished. So is this it? Is this how we're going to finish this race? Is this how we... Not race. Is this how we're going to finish the qualifying for the GT class with Park Motorsport, the 977, going to come and finish their lap. No one here to compete with them, as the leaderboard now is starting to break because people are leaving the server. But Park Motorsport will take pole position going into Daytona 8 hours. Congratulations to Park Motorsport for a 1-2. Going into Daytona, they're going to be locking out the front of the grid, and they're going to lead us into the next round. Congratulations to them, and absolutely fine showing from them. Great shout out to Sunset Outrun for coming P3, Midas P4. I think the times are broken beyond that, so I'm not going to read out the rest of the times. So, well done. Congratulations, and I hope you're proud of your first pole position in Season 2, your first showing in Season 2, and now that be that. We're going to wait for these guys to come into the pit lane, and I believe then we're going to have a little bit of a break while we wait for the hypercar qualifying. But if Park Motorsport are listening, please can the pole sitter come have a discussion with me, and I'll ask you some questions. Let's join the VC inside the Discord, and I'll pull you in, and we can get your little point of view on how this went down. If the Park Motorsport driver and CEO want to come, that would be fine as well. Unfortunately, I only can speak English, so I can't speak Polish. If that's a problem, then just let me know. But yeah, congratulations to Park Motorsport once again, and I'll try and get the rest of this grid out and let you guys know what the order is in the qualifying without penalties. I think it's pretty obvious Royal Racing have disqualified themselves, which is an interesting thing to do. And we're going to now leave the server, and the server now go offline. So we're going to take a little 5-minute break from racing. So yeah, that was a great little qualifying session. Let me get up these times so we can read out who is going to lead us and who is not. So Royal Racing were 1:43.0, fastest time, but they did disqualify themselves. I'm not too sure why they would do this now, considering they do have competition. But it looks like this is the grid layout for tomorrow. Park Motorsport, the 977 would lead the way, followed by the 907 Park Motorsport, 722 Sunset Outrun, 79 Midas Racing, 91 ST One Vision Esports, the number 10 Project 81, 999 Rivals Racing, the championship leaders right now down in PA, but that's all they need, with 45 Project Racing Endurance Team, and closing out the top 10 with the 709 Streffer Racing Team. Congratulations. Oh no, it's not 10. The 127 kiritoracingesports in 10th. So that's the top 10 for the GT class, unless there are penalties and things to come. But if they do have any reports, then please do go into the Discord and use the reports channel. If there are collisions, incidents, rule breakers, I need to know so we can penalize them and get the official starting grid out for the GT class. So we are 5 minutes away now from the next round, and I don't see Park Motorsport in any of the VCs. So it looks like we're not going to get that interview with them, which is fine. If anyone who came third again, let me take a peeksies. So Sunset Outrun, you guys were the ones in P3. If Park Motorsport don't want to come have a talk, maybe you guys do. Maybe one of you want to come have a discussion with me and give me a talk on how your qualifying session went. So I'm going to have to change the screen over here because, yeah, very difficult. And these are the lap times. I'm going to make them slightly larger so you people can see on the other monitor. But yeah, these will be your leaders going into the next round. So the information's there if anyone wants to see it. Yeah, we're gonna take it a little easy. We're gonna take a breath. We're gonna take a little breather. Okay, everyone? We're gonna breathe. Take it easy. I understand that was a interesting qualifying session. So in the end, it does appear that not everyone did turn up to the qualifying session. So there will be a few cars that will be starting from the back of the GT grid. Unless they don't decide to turn up at all, that will be on them. The server will be going up now for the hypercar grid. They're going to have 15 minutes practice, and then they're going to jump straight into their qualifying. So there will be a slight delay to the start here due to there being a slight delay before. I do hope nobody minds too much. It seems like no one wants to come talk to me, which is a little bit sad. But there's Max Kit. Uh, Max, I don't believe you. Oh no, you are Sunset Outrun. I'm going to pull you in, Max. Okay. Oh, I can't drag anyone. Hello, Max. Can you hear me? Do you hear me?
Oh wait.
Do you want
Yeah,
to
I
come?
can hear you. My mic was just being goofy.
Were you the one doing the qualifying?
Yeah.
So do you want to give me a rundown of how your qualifying session went for you?
I had individually like really good sectors. I feel I was purple in a few of them, but for the life of me, I couldn't get in the same flow I was during practice at all. Not this practice, but previous practices.
Oh damn. You finished technically P4 overall, but you'll be promoted up to P3. So you'll be starting on the second row, alongside Midas Racing. Do you have any strategies going into the weekend, or any ideas of how you're going to compete against the fast guys?
I know all of us have put way more time into race pace and quali. I put at least 3 times the amount of race practice and quali, so I know we have more pace there.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Have you got any messages you want to leave to the competitors? Maybe a little bit of fighting talk or anything you want to get off your chest?
Nah, just don't murder each other. Turn two.
Okay, so we don't want any turn 1, turn 2 incidents. Well,
It's
Max,
not gonna be turn one. Turn one should be fine. Turn two is gonna be a slaughterhouse.
I don't know, turn 1 may be a bit chaotic, especially in the GT class. I think the Lambo has a little bit longer of a braking zone than the Merc. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, that's actually a little scary then.
We'll see how competent everyone is going into the start. I think this is the largest grid we've had. So, how are you feeling about CRL? Do you like it, the situation, CRL? Is there anything you would like to add?
It's my first race here, so I'm still getting a feel for how the format is, but so far there's nothing wrong with it. It feels good.
Oh, that's good, man. Well, thank you for coming to me because Park Motorsport didn't want to come talk. It's a little bit sad.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a little sad.
yeah, it's no problem, man. So, good luck for the weekend. Good luck to your team, and please don't do enough in the first lap.
We'll try. I'm not the one starting, but we'll try.
No problem. Thank you for
See you,
joining
man.
me. Oh, there we go. The server is online for the LP class, but no one's coming to join. No one wants to do qualifying for the hypercar grid, apparently. It's a little bit awkward. Just a little, you know. So we're gonna take it. We're gonna take a little bit of a breather while we get underway here. Uh, oh, why did my screen just go dark? That's strange. I'm gonna try and make it so you guys can see this. Just so you can kind of see the top few drivers. I'm at the top of the right now, but it will change. Over. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna leave like this for a minute, and we're just gonna relax. We're gonna relax while practice is underway. There's 10 minutes left of practice, so do make sure you go and grab a drink. Go grab your popcorn, grab your Red Bulls, and get ready for the next round. Thank you for quality. No problem, Foil. I'll see you next time. Our quality driver is up for an interview. Yeah, he was up. Parker as well didn't want to come talk to us. I looked in the VCs. I couldn't find him. I didn't see anyone from Foil Racing. It's a little bit sad. A little bit sad. I was hoping one of you guys would come across those two cars, but it's fine. It's fine. We're good. We're good. If anyone wants to come have a discussion with me, don't be afraid. And we can start talking. We have 10 minutes before we're underway. So with that in mind, we're going to take a little bit of a breather here. And I'll be right back with you when qualifying gets underway. Okay, welcome. We took a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather, as we are still watching the practice unfold. There is 5 minutes remaining of the practice session. As mentioned earlier, the session was delayed slightly, therefore we are now having an extra 5 minutes until we get underway here. Just watching the cars to get a little bit of practice in. So, a bit of update on who is driving and who is not. I think it is time we go down the rabbit hole here. For some reason, that's updating that as well. That was strange. So yeah, the thing on the left hand side, I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit more of a view of what's going on. Since I can't give you guys the in-game information because the app does not want to work for some reason. I do not know why, but it has decided it doesn't want to work. So let's go down the list on who is racing this weekend for the hypercar grid. First up, we have the number 16 Eclipse Endurance Yellow. Next up is the 42 GLS PXN Racing with the 43 GLS PXN Racing with them. The number 50 Pushek Engineering. I think they're a new team to the grid. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think we saw them last round. Hurricane Racing, Team Red and Team Blue, 51 and 52 respectively. These guys bringing in a new livery to the season, to this race. I think they only had one car in the last round. This time they had 3 cars. They have a GT car, a hypercar added for the Daytona 8 hours. SD Soul Team, I believe this is another One Vision partnership car. Number 75 will be on the grid this weekend as well. Followed by 78 Legion Racing, 88 Eclipse Endurance White, another new car to the grid. 111 Kismet Racing. These guys raced a few times this season. I don't know if they were in the last round, but they were earlier on in the season with their Domino's car. Very interesting, their first livery. I'm glad we got that settled for the following rounds. But they are also in contention for the championship this weekend. So I think they are third right now in the championship. So it's a 3-way fight. Next up is the 175 Sim Racing Dream Team. Again, another partnership One Vision car. These guys are one of the favourites to be competitive this weekend. Going into the current standings, as I feel like people want to know what the current standings are. Let's change over to this screen. Please work. Please work. I don't know why, but it takes a little minute for that thing to load. So, for the hypercar grid, if I remember correctly, it is right here. So, up first, we have Legion Racing with 48 points to their name, followed by GLS PXM Racing with 43 points, and Kismet Racing with 30 points. During this race, they can earn a maximum of 25 points, so they are all in contention to win this championship, and it's a 3-way fight. Like the GT class, every moment is going to matter, every instant's going to matter. Obviously, these points aren't far apart either. Only 13 points between Kismet and GLS, and only 5 points between GLS and Legion Racing. So they're going to have to beat each other by quite a margin if they are going to be taking the championship. I believe that GLS Racing are faster than our friends over at Legion Racing. So Legion Racing looking for at least a P5 this weekend to try and solidify their championship, as it seems like GLS are going to have competition this weekend. Overall, the competitive nature of the hypercar class has increased since Le Mans, and it is going to be very interesting to see who performs and who doesn't. Outside of the top 3, Sim Racing Dream number 17 has retired their car, and same with Kikia Esports. So the 2 guys that could have done something have both retired their cars. Therefore, it's only a 3-way fight. Everybody else is pretty much new to the grid for the hypercars. Therefore, they are not going to be overall competitive. It's a little bit sad, but it's okay. It will be okay. A three-way fight then for the hypercar grid and a two-way fight for the GT grid. It's going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top and who doesn't. I'm pretty sure we're all going to be looking forward to the endurance race tomorrow. It is going to be 8 hours long. It is also going to have a night cycle. So there is going to be 3 times day-night cycle. So it will simulate the whole 24-hour race. It is going to be a bit different. And we'll see how it goes. And obviously you'll have Polish commentary tomorrow instead of my annoying voice. I do apologize. Normally I wouldn't do this. I'm definitely a fill-in today. And I am Lasky Kirito. I am the racing director for CRL Endurance, and I currently lead the program. So yeah. And normally I wouldn't be doing this. And I really do apologize to all of our Polish listeners. I know you guys really enjoyed the Polish commentary, and I don't know as if I can really do about it right now. To the whole 10 listeners listening along right now, we were up to 30 viewers earlier on. We are about to get underway for qualifying now. It will have a 2-minute cooldown, I believe, between sessions. Driver has been kicked for checksum. So, let's talk about checksums and other issues. All teams were advised before the weekend, before this week actually. They've been told for the last 3 weeks to join the server, make sure all their files work and are in working order, because we were not responsible during the weekend if it wasn't going to work. So for those guys who didn't bother to check their files, unfortunately, that's on you guys. We gave you guys prior warning. We helped everyone that had issues, and everyone was helped who needed it. So it's just a bit of a shame that some people did not do this and are now getting checks and fails. So for next season, we are going to implement a system where people will have to join the server before the weekend if they are going to race at all. This is just so we can make sure your files are working and just to make sure that everything is fine. Wait, what's going on? Yeah, so next season, I think I've implemented a minimum required amount of laps. It'll be like 5 laps or something. 5 valid laps, and you will have to do that for next season, because we can't keep dealing with these checksums all the time, and especially during the weekend. It's a massive shame when people cannot race because they didn't do the test beforehand, and it is really sad to see. So ignoring that, we're moving forward now into qualifying. It is a 20-minute session for the hypercar grid, and let's get our tower back. Okay, it does not want to come back. We have lost tower. There it is. It is now back on your screens. So we can now focus on the race at hand. So people who are currently on the server are GLS PXN. Both their cars currently on the grid. Soul SD team are currently on the grid. Eclipse Endurance, Sim Racing Dream, Hurricane Racing, the other Hurricane Racing, and Legion Racing. I think we are only missing 2 cars right now, and one of them is struggling to join due to checks and fails. It will most likely be the hypercar, to be honest, or the track, so they will have to check that. Now, that means we are missing one other car, and I can't quite tell off the top of my head which one that is, but we are missing one. I think it might be the other Eclipse. No, both Eclipse cars are here. Let's do a little bit of detective work and find out which car is missing, shall we? There's supposed to be 11 cars. 1 car is trying to join and is failing. So the team we are missing is the engineering team. We just had shots fired. So the engineering team is the one that are missing, number 50. They have not shown up to the qualifying session, which is a bit of a shame. Now, if you're thinking that this grid is kind of short, I do apologize. It is not. There are 6 LMP2 cars that will be joining the grid. So don't think that there's only a small amount of cars. There are more cars. It's just the experimental class are not having their qualifying session as they are emulating Garage 56, and number 56 obviously did not get to qualify for Le Mans. They were just part of the practice and the race. So, coming into this qualifying session then, times are already popping onto the board. With GLS PXM Racing with the 1:36.6. I think these times are still... I think that is a proper time, but I think these guys are still doing their out laps and their first laps. So we'll give it a minute until more times start popping onto the board before we start discussing who's doing well and who needs to improve. I need to get back up the YouTube chat here. I've lost you guys. You're all gone from my screen. There's no problem. We're doing good. It's okay. Also, for this stream, we have actually brought back. We've brought on some new shaders, some new filters, to try and improve quality of the race. So I do hope the stream looks a little bit better for you guys. You know, that was one of the things I really wanted to do, was to make sure the stream looks really nice for you and to make sure everything works okay. So if you do like what's happening with CRL, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and head into the Discord and let us know your thoughts and opinions on this season. Considering that we had to take over this season from scratch and we've restarted the whole thing, and moving into next season, a lot of work is going to go into making sure that everything's running smoothly and everything is good. So a little bit of comment here and there, letting us know if you like it or not, will go a very, very long way. As we are now seeing representative lap times coming on. Also, the LMP2 will be starting at the back of the hypercar grid, as they would create dangerous situations if they started behind the GT class. Yeah, well said, Mullock. As Mullock says in the chat, the LMP2 class will be at the back of the hypercar grid. As 42 has an incident, he catches it though. A nice 360-degree spin there. I'm sure his heart is pounding, as that could have been the end of his qualifying session. Like Mullock said, the LMP2 grid will be placed at the back of the hypercar grids just to avoid any dangerous scenario with the LMP2s coming through the GT grid. This was a concern coming into the weekend, but just like they do in real life, if the car is faster, it'll be placed ahead. So the LMP2s will be placed at the back of the hypercar grids, and will start with them. They will not be starting as their own class. They'll be starting with the hypercars, and then the GT cars will go after them. This is just to make sure we don't have any complications, and because we have to manually type everything down. Can we get something like this for Daytona? What is this? Oh, starting grid. Yeah, we have a starting grid. I think that's for starting grid. Okay, I need to give this form over to the rest of the commentators because they don't have it. Like I mentioned before, I am obviously English. I do not speak Polish. I don't normally do the commentating, so I do apologize that there is no Polish commentary. There will be for the race. There will be Polish commentary for the race, and maybe some English commentary. You can speak English or Polish in the chat, and our commentators, our staff will respond to you, and they will help you out. What's just happened here? Eclipse Endurance Yellow smashing into the wall. They're still driving. This is not rejoining safely, though. I do hope these guys do not come back onto track dangerously. They should go back onto the tarmac and just below the yellow line. But yeah, I do hope they don't cause any problems to the teams, and we'll stay on board of them as they return to the pit lane. But they'll have major damage to that car now as they pull out the way. So yeah, congratulations to them. Thank you for being safe, although your pit entry is all wrong. Please don't do this during the race. Please do use the real pit entry, as you may receive a penalty from real penalty. So GLS then, our good friends over GLS, PXM Racing, 129.7, really decent time, one of the fastest I've seen in the hypercar around this track. So we are using the Montoya, which is based on the Toyota for the Le Mans series. Next season we will be changing these to the Ferrari and the Porsche. So this will be the last time we see the Montoya in CRL. We will not be seeing it again. I have decided that moving forwards we're going to try a new provider when it comes to hypercars. However, we will be getting new GT cars from the same provider, so I'm not hating on them or anything. So GLS then, I want to, much similar to how Park Motorsport was earlier in the day, GLS leading the way for the rest of the field to follow. Eclipse Endurance not far behind GLS, and Hurricane Racing, there's a big gap there. There's a gap of 7/10. That's a pretty big margin, and mind you, the gaps between the front three and the rest of the grid are pretty close. So maybe this is down to performance gap or down to setups maybe. Who knows? We don't really know what the teams are running. We do not have that information, unfortunately. As, you know, we do not obviously have their setups. We don't have all that stuff. So yes. We've lost a car, by the way. There were 10 hypers. One car was trying to join, and unfortunately they weren't able to make it on. So they are no longer joining, I don't think. We've lost 2 hypercars already. It's a bit sad. So I want to try and catch a car here on a lap. Can we catch one going onto one? We'll do an onboard with a hypercar. There should be one coming across soon. Here we go! Hurricane Racing. You have been nominated for an onboard. They come into Sector 1. Heavy braking zone here. They need to get a nice turn in, not make sure they oversteer the car. And once they get hooked up, it's flat to the floor as then they come into another heavy braking zone as they turn in. Sort of like a little hairpin here. As they accelerate again now, and they'll stay flat. Completely flat all the way through this little section here. Through this left-hander, it'll be completely flat. And again, another heavy braking zone into another hairpin style. And they'll come in gently on the throttle, feather it through, and then they'll accelerate out again. Although it'll be very brief because they'll have to go back down to second gear as they enter onto the bank. This corner is deceiving. There is like it does bank away from you before you head onto the normal banking. And then here, you want to stay as close to the yellow line as possible without catching your wheel on the flat surface because you'll gain a lot of time here. And you want to be smooth when you release the steering wheel here. You don't want to be aggressive at all. Smooth all the way. And over here, you're looking for the number 2. You brake hard, turn in. You want to go back on the throttle as soon as possible to accelerate out. Then cut as much as the curve as possible to gain as much time. And you're back onto the second bank. And again, you're holding down that line. You want to be as close to the ground as possible. Whereas here, Hurricane is sliding up a little bit. Again, smooth on the wheel. As now you're going to try and stay close and tight for the finish line. And they'll come across the line and they will set another personal best of a 131.4. Not a fast time from them. But that is kind of the idea of what you're looking for. We'll hop on board the Legion Racing here. As they're now coming through the bus stop chicane. They're taking it a little bit easy through the corners. So that may be a point where they're losing a little bit of time compared to their counterparts from GLS Racing. As now they're coming over the bank. Again, they're not really hugging that yellow line. People don't really want to be on it all too much. Although if you hook your wheel wrong, it can throw you off. So this is now them entering the pit lane and the correct way to enter the pit lane. It's good as we hop on board with Eclipse as they break into the braking zone. Hurricane will give you guys a lot of a break. We'll hop on with SD Soul Team. So this is the 75 car. One of the cars that swapped. Actually, no, these guys are new to the grid. I don't think they have raced before. So, because a lot of the chicane, I wouldn't be surprised if he invalidated there. But he set a time of 129.8 and he's currently on this lap. 3 tenths down from GLS. Can he make up that time? We're about to find out as he comes now onto the last bit of the straight. He wants to stay real tight to this yellow line as he comes across the line to gain as much time as possible. And he does not improve. So maybe he's just starting a lap. Who knows? As GLS are coming out the pit lane. So it looks like a few teams have made a couple stops. Let's hop aboard with eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Who are we going to play with today? Let's as GLS. Is that GLS? No, it was SD. Simdream. These guys going off track a little bit. Got a caution sign on the side of their car. Oh, and they're going for another spin. These guys not having a great outlap here. They're struggling. Let's just hope they rejoin safely. There is Legion Racing coming in behind them, but I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. As they'll have to let their tyres cool down a bit. If I was them, I'd pull up to the top of the bank and let the next car through, but I think they're going to be okay. So let's hop on board with another car as they come now. I think they're coming towards the bus stop chicane. So, these guys were right in front of the other SD car. So, well, that was a large cut there. He looks like he is valid though. The real penalty, obviously, going to be dictating the lines which people can take. So we do allow people to cut that corner as they do in real life as well. If they go too far across though, they will get a little noise. Oh, is this guy's lockup coming to the pits? That was naughty. Sim Racing Dream there, flying into the pit lane, disregarding safety. That may, if that gets reported, that could be a penalty. Because that was not safe. You're not supposed to do this. Flying into the pit lane like that is definitely a no-no. We're not a massive fan of it. It's both the Eclipse cars coming out together. Show of force is. I feel like one car's trying to get ahead of the other one, and not doing so well at it. A little fight between teammates going on here. So I think we are about to see the next round of fast laps. 6 minutes left on the clock, and it's looking to go GLS's way. Unless someone's going to come in and throw up the balance here. GLS with a 1-2. People really loving these 1-2s today. I think it's the first time I've seen this, and I've never seen it before with teams going 1-2 in CRL. I don't think it happened in the past either. So I do hope this is the first time a 1-2 in both qualifying sessions will be very, very interesting. I do hope it happens. But here we go. We'll go on board with these guys as they are the faster team as we go into turn 1 again. These guys real smooth on it. Real nice line as well. So obviously they're going to be trying to beat faster than the counterpart team here. Although I don't really know which one's the first car and second car. Normally teams have some form of structure in place where one car is faster than the other. I know in Kiritoracingesports Racing, the 127 is the faster car out of our cars. So I don't know if other teams have this in place where they go, okay, if this car's ahead, leave them ahead. But these guys pretty close on lap time, only half a tenth between them. I do wonder who will be fastest on top. So earlier on we saw a little bit more of a balance between the lap times, so now they're all kind of spread out now over a second. Well, a second and a half here. It's a bit of a shame. We do want to see people being competitive, as when time is spaced out in qualifying, they tend to be different paces during the race. With the GT cars in the race though, we'll see how things happen tomorrow, as it will be an entire race. A lot of things can happen, and it'll be the first time that CRL goes into nighttime. I don't believe we've had a night race in CRL before. We were supposed to have one in Le Mans, but for some reason the day-night cycle wasn't working. And now GLS Racing with a 129.4. I think this is the fastest time I've seen so far for the hypercars. That's a pretty decent time. I wonder how the counterpart team's going to respond. They've gone into the pit lane. That's sitting in the pits. 3 minutes 30 left on the clock. They have enough time to get back out on track and possibly do 1 or 2 more laps. As it looks though, it's going to be a GLS 1-2. It's going to be GLS 1-2 unless one of the teams can spur out a bit of time here. I think that's the way it's going to go. But that's no problem. That's okay. Because in the race, it'll be a lot more interesting. As I see in the paddock PL chat, then our friends are posting some interesting content on people's driving ability. If you have reports, please use the reports channel. Report teams that have broken rules or caused issues during your qualifying session, and we will be able to look into it and possibly give out penalties where necessary. You know, it is part of racing. It is part of it all. I'm just currently looking at the chat. A lot of things happen. So yet again, people. Oh my god, GLS into the barrier. That's gonna touch the. That's gonna be the end of their quali. They're not gonna be able to get in and out. Oh, as someone else in the background, I think that was the Eclipse White team also going to the barrier. So that's into their qualifying as well. So GLS, the 42, that's the end of their qualifying. They will not be able to get into the pits, repair their car, and get back out across that line in time. That is a real shame. Both of them here disrespecting the entry line to the pits. I do hope that that's not the case. Did he just use back to pits? So that may be looked at afterwards. If he was inside the pits, that may have been allowed. We'll check. As if you're in the pit lane, you're allowed to use back to pits, I think. But we'll see. And that is the end of qualifying for the 42, which means unless another team can beat them, the number 43 GLS on track to fight for the championship. Now, Legion Racing are exactly where they need to be. They need to be within a certain amount of points to GLS. Let me grab up the thing here. We're gonna take a little, we're gonna have a little peeksies at it. The hypercar times here. So there's only 5 points between them. 5 points between them. If I remember correctly. Let me see. I need the rule book. Give me the rule book. We do use a point system in place, and the point system will be for P1 is 25 points, P5 is 15 points. So if they finish in this order, GLS will win the championship. So Legion Racing, they're in a good position to start the race, but they're going to want to jump a couple positions if they're going to want to hold on to this championship. GLS, though, doing everything they need to do to win. Right now, I think this is about it. I think people are coming across the finish line. So, oh, I'm taking a screenshot for some reason. So, Soul decided not to finish their lap. Eclipse not competing for a time. So the last people on track that could do anything is Legion Racing. Are they going to be able to set a time to compete with the top 5? They need to put in the time, and it needs to be good, and it needs to be now. This is their last chance at getting into the top row or top 3 to compete, to hold on to their championship lead. They are going to want this desperately, as they are now coming through to the final bank. Hold on, GLS. Have you done this? Have you taken the championship away from Legion Racing? We're about to find out, as the race is tomorrow. It's 8 hours. But GLS locking out the front row, unless Legion can do something, and they don't. Their finishing time is a 1:30.3. That would be P5 for them. That would be a P5. That's going to be hard for them. They're going to have to fight hard coming into the race tomorrow. So GLS then, locking out the front row with a 1-2. Incredible. Congratulations to GLS Racing. Number 43, if you'd like to come have a conversation with me, then please do so. All the rest of the teams that competed today, congratulations. I'll try and read out your finishing times as I did with the GT class, but it may be a little bit difficult. Because it sometimes breaks. Let me see if I can do this here. Yeah, putting this onto the bigger screen for you guys, so we can look at it together. So let's take a look-sees. So there it is. GLS leading the way over 129.4, followed by the 42 GLS, 75 SD Soul Team, 16 Eclipse, Endurance Yellow, Legion Racing Academy in 5th. Is that 5th? Yeah, that's 5th. 175 Sim Racing Dream, followed by 51 Hurricane Racing, Eclipse Endurance White, and final is the 52 Hurricane Racing Team Blue. Now there are 2 other teams that will be on this list for the starting list, but obviously they didn't qualify today, so they'll be at the back of the grid. So congratulations to GLS Racing for locking out a 1-2 in the hypercar grid, and that is the first time ever that we have ever seen a lockout for both GT class and hypercar grid. Absolutely amazing performance from everyone today, and thank you to everyone for coming along today. I do apologize that once again it was me. There was supposed to be Polish commentators today, but sometimes it's not how the cookie crumbles, right? So thank you to everyone who came today, and I hope that we do see you for the race tomorrow. So please do like and subscribe, and please do enjoy the rest of your day.